What's up everybody, my name is Ika, and today we're going to be looking at the newest patch for Universim, which came out today, June 1st, as a part of our series in looking at this game from alpha to release. Now, if you didn't catch episode 1 of this series, I will link it somewhere here on screen, and I'll throw a link down into the description below. I'm also going to throw a link to the website for the game, and a link to the game's Steam Greenlight page. Now, the theme of today's video that I'd like to talk to, especially as it pertains to alpha software, is bugs, and how they affect gameplay, and what you should do if you're testing a piece of software, either being paid to do so, or if you're in an alpha or a beta, to help out the developers track down and squash those bugs. Now, this release is release number 16, and they're codenamed Nugget Juice. We'll get into that a little bit later. There are some great things that have been added, some great things that have been fixed, and a couple more things that have wiggled their way into the game that make it a little bit more of a challenge. Before you ever get into the game proper, you're going to notice that Crytivo has a nice new logo, complete with sound, as well as a new loading screen when you're loading into the game that's going to display tips and tricks down in the bottom left-hand corner. The first thing that's new is you're going to notice that all of your nuggets, they have new hairstyles, they have new clothes, there are new perks that are available to dress them up in clothes and give them a little bit more hit points and a little bit more survivability. Now, the second thing that you'll notice, perhaps even on accident, is that if you hold down the left mouse button on one of your nuggets, you're now going to be able to pick them up. This is your first god power you can pick up, and you can throw nuggets. To throw a nugget, you just hold down the mouse button again. You're going to see a little icon appear. It's going to gain in power, and then you launch the nugget at whatever that power is when you release the button. Now, the nuggets will fly through the air and are affected by a new gravity and ragdoll physics system for the nuggets themselves. This is great, so you can pick up and you can move nuggets, maybe even closer to somewhere that they need to be, or away from danger. Now, while you can pull your nuggets away from danger, you can also launch them directly into danger. If you launch them into the ground, you're going to notice the new Nugget Juice system, which color is settable in the options when they go splat. Small side note, you can also pick up dead nuggets and launch them into space so that you don't have to rush for a graveyard anymore or rush for a funeral pyre. You can instead pick up and simply remove dead nuggets to keep them from infecting other nuggets in your village. Now, speaking of those infection rates, one of the things that they have tuned for this patch is nuggets don't get infected as easily from dead other nuggets. So even if there is an infected patch on the ground, it's not going to immediately spread across your entire village and overwhelm your witch doctor. And speaking of the witch doctors can now heal themselves. In what I'm sure was possibly an overlooked thing, the witch doctor, when they heal themselves, do not require any herbs. So if you have a lack of herbs, or there are no herbs in the area for your doctor to go find, simply take whoever is needing healing, make them the witch doctor, and they'll heal themselves up, no herbs required. So the other big thing that this patch added, besides being able to throw your nuggets into space, is the ability to move on past the Stone Age and into the pre-medieval era. Now, only 2 buildings right now have that ability. It's the Eatery and the Witch Doctor. Now, to upgrade them, you simply need to research the perk and then use the refined materials that didn't have a use before to upgrade each of the buildings individually. Now, I would love to show this to you, but in the 4 hours that I have been playing this to try to get to this point, I have encountered a bunch of new bugs. These new bugs are particularly frustrating because they are definitely game-breaking. Now, a couple that I have noticed so far is there are a pathfinding issue where nuggets will simply just stand outside of somewhere and then refuse to move, and they'll eventually just starve and die. And then the other one that I've noticed is if one person really gets hungry or multiple people get super hungry, the entire village stops dead. Even nuggets that are not hungry, even nuggets that are responsible for providing food, the farm will continue to grow, but nobody will harvest the food. The fishermen will literally just sit in their boats, and this makes it so that the game is fairly dead in the water right there. Now, this can be particularly annoying because if the pathfinding bug affects your engineers, even unassigning them and reassigning them to a engineering hut doesn't fix the bug, so that means that your engineers will literally just let your entire city crumble. Now, if you remember from the first video, this game is in really seriously alpha mode, which means that these bugs are to be expected. This is part of game development. It is important as players that when we encounter these bugs, especially during an alpha or a beta, that we report them to the developer. Now, Crytevo Games has set up a Discord server, as well as in this patch, they've had the ability to now do bug reports from within the game. It will take a screenshot of what you're seeing, allow you to throw in some notes, and send those directly off to the developer. It is really important as consumers who are in these alphas that you report all of the bugs that you find so that the end product is, well, less buggy. Now, I am looking forward to a hot patch to this sometime this month. Hopefully they get this few issues patched out so that we can really take a look at the rest of the content. And then other than that, version 17 should hit July 1st.
Pew pew, babe.
Let's make a kiddo together.
Now, if you enjoyed this quick look at the most recent patch, please hit that like button down below. Hit subscribe if you'd like to know when the next video comes out, whether for a hot patch or for the next patch entirely. Drop me a comment in the comment section to let me know what you think of this game and what you think of alpha maybe in general. And I hope to see your views in the next video.